today, this is special day. We are, everyone here to attend. So many people around the world. Our job is burning all obstacles. Our obstacles bring into enlightened path to enlightenment, and also all obstacles bring into allies, not hindrance. Therefore, I like to talk today about special teaching, technique, and also skill, also power. Someone can bring obstacles. What I mean here, obstacles means what do you mean obstacles? Say someone, what really means obstacles? And obstacles, there's, hindrance your life. Hindrance blocks your life, means blocking your happiness, block and hindrance your connections, relationships, and the hindrance your sense of well-being, and that really are called obstacle. Appear you're doing something wonderful, or you're doing something good, but something, the circumstance become the obstacle, prevent you do something you want to do. They call obstacles. And that really means that sometimes it can hindrance, obstacles, blocks your energy, and also blocks, hindrance your connections, like your teacher, your relationships, connections. There's hindrance all the time, that's also obstacle. And sometimes, disease can be obstacle, or maybe news can be obstacle, or like many things obstacle. But I want to say here, everyone listen to this. What is really biggest obstacle you think? Let's think about that. What is really biggest obstacle in your life? Just think about that one moment. Okay. Okay, the biggest obstacle is your own thought. And sometimes it's called the voice and head. That's the most biggest obstacle human life. That is, and I think what it really means, thought can be thoughts, ideas, like they says, what it really means, thought, what do you mean thoughts obstacle? It's misjudgment, misperception, and I think misunderstanding yourself and others. If you misunderstand something, maybe you think something negative, maybe there's positive, you treat something negative, and that really means become the obstacles, like anger, sadness, fear, stress. They all come from thoughts, ideas, and belief systems, beliefs. I think most people don't know this. This is the problem. Most people think obstacles only external. I'm here, there's no obstacles, My mind, everything's fine. But everything's external, someone's doing me something. That person is the problem. That thing is the problem. Always obstacles external, but most obstructions internal. You understand that? That's really our, like the Tanta says, like I quote this before, the quote, end quote is, thoughts are the demons, The demons come from your own mind. When you know your mind is totally pristine, there is not even a name of demons. These obstructions or demons, they're the same. Because many people have, like lost connections. And many people have, misunderstanding other people. Many people have misjudgment. The misjudgment is source of their problem, Misunderstanding is source of people's lost connections, not happy, ruin the day. It's misperception, misunderstanding. Therefore, external things are like external conditions, maybe 30% of the responsible of the obstacles, but 70% obstacles come from internally, caused by your own misjudgment, thoughts, belief systems, projections, And therefore, generally term obstacle means you need to know what are really obstacles, the external obstacles like disease, car accident, injury, gunshot, shooting guns, like robbery. All these things are external obstacles, Many people don't have. But everyday environment, their own thoughts, obstacle, everyone, all human beings have every day face internal obstacles all the time. Here, there, everywhere. Therefore, I think these teachings are like Guru Padmasambhava's teachings. Really, really are the first. He's talking about the dress, mostly teachings, external obstacle, internal obstacle, innermost obstacles. External obstacles we talk about, like a car accident, disease, someone's, like shooting guns, kill many people, airplane, falling in the sky, many different called external obstacles. But internal obstacles, Padmasambhava and Guru Rinpoche defined is your own thoughts, emotions, and misjudgment, misperception, and thoughts make you suffering, thoughts make you narrow mind, thoughts make you, upset. Everything's okay, but suddenly people are upset. Because why? It's thought. Because thoughts are very sneaky, very, very sneaky. Therefore, you don't know. Suddenly happens, therefore, someone's doing, but actually, in your own thought. Therefore, the entire teachings of Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava's, teachings are, the title is, how to remove external obstacles, how to remove internal obstacles, how to remove innermost obstacles. What's the innermost obstacles? Innermost obstacles are like hesitations and subtle thoughts. Only when you have meditating, when you meditating, you see, when you meditating very comfortably, that time innermost obstacles come. When you meditating. But daily life, thoughts, emotions, but subtle level, innermost obstacles, the secret obstacles comes when you meditating, especially. There's appear many things, And then that's really reason about the Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava's life story shows that the biography shows. You read his life story is like all obstacles turning ally. That's really are the most powerful activity. Powerful activity. I think you remember this familiar, Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava's king, completely upset, burning fire, put the fire. You see that? Made the fire. The symbolic destinations put the fire, lots of oil put, and burn fire, everything, his body, and then turning into become lake, and then center of the lake there's lotus flower. He's on top of that. That's become the symbol of those obstacles turning ally. Very, very powerful image. That behind me you see there's that image is that. The other thing is when Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava came to Tibet, what happened is these negative forces demand or negative forces, everything's turned into positive. Without how do you defeat them without killing anything, but all negative forces turning into positive forces, called Dharmapalas. Some people know that term. That's external, every obstacle, any obstruction turning into ally. That's external. But internally, the thoughts, emotions, belief systems turning into enlightened awareness, turning into enlightened mind, turning into wisdom. That's really are the totally Padmasambhava's teachings are like how shift everything, become extraordinary enlightened state. And that really are, I'm very fortunately many years receive Padmasambhava's teachings. It's like art. It's like art. It's actually like spiritual art. It's really, really powerful and very, very, how do you say, it's very hard to, really, really, the extraordinary quality, hard to really grasp the meaning because such extraordinary, like that. And then I think there are many things, there's so many things, but I'm not going that direction, but I'm just focused what we can do on how we turn it into a positive, obstacles ally. I think I want to go that direction more. And then I think we can do some other times. And I think therefore, what really are here I like to talk about today is really, this is very important, crucial. There's not much we can do external conditions. External conditions may appear very negative, may appear positive, may appear very horrible, difficult conditions. There's not much we can do fix external conditions, yeah? It's very hard to fix external conditions one by one. But if you can do is change your perception. That's really meditators or like this, say, changing your perception and improve your perception. I think that's really are the, obstacles turning ally. There's 4 categories I want to say. Here's 4 categories. There's 2. You can listen to these 4 categories here. 4 categories. Here, 1. Obstacles appear obstacles. Second is obstacles appear allies. Third, allies appear obstacle. Fourth is allies appear allies. What is really our first is number 1 is, someone has no skill for, don't have any tools, appear something external, internal, any hindrance, internal, like whether we are something bad thing happen external, or something you appear negative thoughts, emotions, judgment, and then just appear that, and then just you believe that, that called obstacles appear obstacle. There are obstacles, but there you perceive them as obstacle, and you believe that, and that means obstacles become real obstacles. You know, people don't have the skill, no knowledge, have no wisdom to handle external obstacles, internal obstacles. This is called peer obstacle. The obstacle appears obstacle. You know, I think learning meditation of Dharma is, I think the number one is how to handle difficult conditions and difficult mind. You know, difficult mind, people have difficult mind. Maybe not. I'm teasing, but people have not much difficult circumstances, but people have difficult mind. That's all. You know, few people have difficult mind, you know, difficult conditions, but many people have difficult minds. You know, few people, you know, there's, you know, like many physically, you know, difficult time. You know, for example, U.S. You know, become homeless or like physically really difficult. But you know, there are many people have good conditions, but equally, most doesn't matter you're famous or rich, or you know, like someone's really regular person. Everybody go through what is faces a difficult mind. People have difficult minds, you know. Therefore, learning meditation is how do you can face difficult mind, how to fix your problems. That's really are the learning of Dharma or meditation is how do you, you know, fixing your problems. And everybody has external, internal, their problems occur in their life. Yeah, that meditation means, Dharma means how to fix that. It's very important. For example, order to happy life, you know, happy life, successful life. Success mean, I don't mean necessarily financially success, but that's one success. But success means your happiness, well-being, you have that real success. Your mind is peace, enjoyment, free of stress, free of anxiety, free fear. That's really success and good life. In order to do that, you know, you don't need, even without, you know, learning piano or golf, you can still have success life, and still have, you know, happy, good life. You don't know play piano, you don't know play golf, or you have many, you know, many, like you don't need necessarily learning computer or like many other skills. You don't need necessarily good to have life. You don't have good. You can't have good life without these things. But the one I say this is, if you don't know to solve problems with your life, it's very hard to have good life. Therefore, knowing solving problems in your life is number one priority, I think. You know, like I say that, if you don't know play piano, that don't mean, you know, it's you okay. You still can have good life. Yeah. If you don't know solve problems, I don't think people have good life. Therefore, solving problems in your own life is the fundamental, you know, quality important people's life. Therefore, what is really here, Padmasambhava's teaching is, number one is how to solve problems in your life. That's it. That's the Dharma, spirituality, meditation is how to solve problems. Like that. And then I think, therefore, what is really how to training, you know, how to, that really means that you have the need skills and also power to transform all obstacles to ally. I want to talk about that, obstacles ally. I think you can, obstacles ally, turning into ally is, I think number one is you need to have skills. Like what is really important is mindfulness. It's very important. Mindfulness this context means, you're not, impulses, you check very carefully, you mindful what you're talking, you mindful, you're not just express your thoughts, but you know what thoughts you have, what kind of emotions you have, what kind of belief systems you have. Exactly know, that's called mindfulness. Know that, yeah. For example, what is the mindfulness to eating food, or this food is healthy food. Food is not healthy food. You avoid unhealthy food. You just select healthy food. That's what we call mindfulness. Yeah, that call mindfulness, conscientious. Yeah. Similarly, number one to obstacles apply allies means you need to know what kind of thoughts you have, what kind of emotions you have, what kind of belief systems you have. Until that, maybe your thoughts are calling the shot, yeah? If your thoughts are calling the shot, you never know they're positive or negative. Therefore, the conditions are difficult, then you say thoughts saying convinced or you should depressed. Conditions is bad. Your thoughts say you should be angry. Your thoughts say you should be fearful. Yeah? That means that they're determine your experiences. Therefore, mindfulness means here is you really aware what kind of thoughts, emotions you have, and then it says, this is a negative thoughts. I don't want to believe that. This positive thoughts, I believe that. And that is the very important to obstacles attorney ally. If you don't know how to do that, for example, someone's eating discriminately in everything they see, hamburger, Coca-Cola, ice cream, like pie, dessert, pizza, everything discriminately they're eating, what happens? Ruin their health, yeah? Similarly, someone's discriminately follow their thoughts, what happened? Obstacles appear obstacles. Even allies appear obstacles. And this is, number one is mindfulness means mindful people, you turn obstacles ally, you need first mindfulness, and then you follow the positive thoughts, not negative thoughts. You listen positive thoughts, not negative thoughts. You listen, you see, what are they saying? Your thoughts saying this, thoughts saying that, thoughts say you're crazy, thoughts say you should do that, thoughts say you're a loser, or you want to listen this, or you thoughts say, be mindful, be compassionate, be reasonable, be honest, be responsible, or your other thoughts saying, you listen. If you listen these thoughts, conditions turn in ally. But you listen negative thoughts, and then conditions, obstacles turn into obstacles. That's really are therefore. And the first is mindfulness. Second is wisdom, and also meditation, compassion, love, appreciation, gratitude, and wisdom. Wisdom is important. Wisdom, it means you are not misunderstanding other people, other circumstances. No. If you have wisdom, you don't have misjudgment, or misperception, or misunderstanding. Human beings, most problems come from misunderstanding, misjudgment. misperception. The wisdom, you have wisdom to avoid all these three things: misjudgment, misunderstanding, misperception. And that can create in huge good conditions. Therefore, all these principles, if you possess, I think that's really are, like someone has skillful means not like everyone has that. But someone has skillful means they have using these tools, just I mentioned. If using these tools and then we are obstacles turning allies. Most time when obstacles come, we are impulse, there's impulse. Without thinking anything, just take action. Say something very, anything, impulse thing. And then obstacles appear, obstacles. Therefore, like whether you have fear and anxiety, anything, the number one is, that says, Dzogchen teaching says, this is the number one obstacles turning ally. It says, if you can free your thoughts, the meditation teachings, we talk about that here. Someone has negative thoughts or negative emotion, like say, angry or like negative, angry, sometimes someone's resent or sad or fear, whatever you have this moment, you can free that through meditation, then obstacles turn in ally. What you do is, when you're angry or sad or fearful, you say, don't follow past, and don't anticipate in the future, stay present moment, leave your mind alone. If you do this exercise, all thoughts, emotions, fear, anxiety, dissipate that moment. Your mind is like become like blue sky. If you can free your thoughts, emotions, even external conditions are difficult, they appear allies. Therefore, number one is, first is mindful, have wisdom, that's one thing. The other thing is through meditation. Through meditation, you can free your thoughts. Like you can free resentments, like anger or stress. Then many external conditions are fun, not big problem. Even external, there's something. The other thing is, like someone has faced difficult external conditions are difficult. If you have the right mind, you can minimize. Still there, but you have minimized. Someone has like wisdom, people have mindfulness, people have meditation, and also people realize their nature of mind. These people have, even if face difficult, they have less problem. Even, complicated, things are complicated, but less complicated. They can handle more. It's not like the external things disappear. I'm not saying that, because there's nothing to do external conditions. Face, but you can do the effect to you is very different. Maybe you have less effect, maybe less effect, not much, not huge effect, but less effect or small degree affect your life. For example, I noticed my own, like obstacles appear in my life, things appear in life. I'm took seriously. I'm thinking over and over and again. I'm obsessed with that obstacle. Then it's become a huge problem. But I'm just try to free that, try to understanding, because how do you know, like people are upset, and I said, try to compassion. Also, human beings are like, for example, human beings cannot have control their own mind. The thoughts, emotions control their own mind. They don't have choice. If you know that, maybe you feel compassion for them. It's not deliberately. People, for example, someone's angry at you, maybe they don't have choice, maybe. The reason is they're controlled by anger. They don't have choice, you know. And you know that. And maybe you don't have maybe so much toward negative that person. You may feel compassion for that person. That is called obstacle to an ally, you know. Like someone's angry at you, but you feel compassion for them because you know they don't have choice. They're controlled by anger or maybe sadness, maybe depression, maybe something also going on in their life. They don't have choice. That means someone told you negative, but you bring compassion. Means someone has negative you, but you have to see the big picture. You see the big picture. When you see the big picture, and easy to turn in allies, difficult conditions to ally. You know, like usually that says, you know, when we have people are like sick right now, people have really sick this time. You know, life is threatening. Many people die. You know, we have faced this kind of challenge. What do? See the big picture. What see the big picture means? Human beings, the life is always changeable, always impermanent, always, you know, like this is like you know, lamp. You see lamp. There's lamp burning. There's lots of wind. There's lots of wind. Lamp burning. It's any moment go out because there's so much wind. That says human life is like that. Human life is very fragile, very conditional, circumstantial, impermanent. We don't know when we die. If you don't, you know that. And then things are not difficult for you. Things are not fearful because you already know. But you don't know this kind. You don't see the big picture. Maybe you shocked everything. Maybe you're devastated. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you feel fearful because you don't see the big picture. The big picture, everything's like that. Everything's conditional, circumstantial, environmental, impermanent, and transitory. A Buddha says, you know, he says 4 ends. 4 ends means end of birth is death. End the rising is falling down. End the meeting is parting. And you know, saving is everything you stop. Everything's like that. Entire phenomena, entire experience is like totally ends 4 ways. First is if you have birth, definitely the end if there's dying. Why die? Because the body is very circumstantial, conditional, very vulnerable. That's the reason people are dying. There's so many disease, you know, so many accidents occur and people die. That's really the reality. And the meeting is parting. There's a meeting, you know, like for example, meeting means you meet your loved ones, friends. First you come together meeting, and everything's parting, departing. Everybody go their own way. Cannot always remain together. Knowing that is seeing the big picture. That's really happens for everyone. Doesn't matter if people, oh, I cannot stay, I feel lonely. But doesn't matter. One day we need to go alone. And you know, it's not matter what, you know, everyone's same situation. We are all same boat, yeah? People say we are all same boat. We are all same boat. And knowing that is really give you strength. And that means really, really, you know, like people say sometimes, oh, you can How about you're lonely, stay there, loneliness, small thing, not big deal one way, compare dying or separation, loved ones, or like, we face there more challenges than just lonely means like, just stay alone. I think sometimes feel much better than stay so many complicated people surrounded by. But, like, if you're not, people are not complicated, I'm teasing, but then it's good. But people are complicated, there's challenges, yes? Challenges appear. Yeah, that's life is like that. Then, and the meeting is departing. And the rising is fall down. Anything rising means like you're rising star. And then you no longer, very high, like movie stars, first they're rising high when they're younger, and then slowly they go down, slowly they're no longer famous. Music, moving, anybody, I was telling people, that when we are younger time, like 20s, 30s, and 40s, we always hear news, you gain something, you gain this possession, you gain this, fortune, you gain this, power, and then we always hear gain until 50. After 50, we hear always lose. You lose your friend, you lose your health, you lose in your decent job, or you lose in your retired. And then we hear everything's losing. And then says, oh, your friends die, and then everything's, then slowly we lose our body, mind. That's reality. First we gain, and then slowly we lose. That's reality. And when you see big picture, there's no surprises. And when you don't see the big picture, there's so many surprises each time and throughout your life, and always shock experience. That really means you don't know that the reality is. Therefore, the reality is like that. And then we accept that, we understanding, and then we can, like turning conditions, turning into allies. Conditions become allies, not like obstacles. Someone like that. Therefore, these things are like fundamental meditation teachings, Dharma teachings. This teaches us how difficult things turn in ally. Especially, I mentioned Padmasambhava and Guru Rinpoche. Padmasambhava's teachings are really, really powerful this area. Very, very powerful. Just so much power and extraordinary wisdom this area. And then, then like that. And I think, all these things, and then especially Vajrayana teachings are called, the Vajrayana view about especially their meditation. That's really the best way turning, obstacles turning to the ally. Especially you learn, I think the more you learn Dharma, the more you learn meditation, the more you learn the Dzogchen, I said, Vajrayana, the more you know how to turn obstacles to ally. It's not like overnight work, okay, now I gave you that, tomorrow you can turn in all obstacles to ally. It's not that easy, because, like easy, but if you learn, not that difficult too. Just not that difficult. I think skill. I think if you turn in obstacles ally, you enjoy that. Yeah. I think people enjoy that. People, there's obstacle, you turn ally, you feel very confident. You feel very live, like. I think that number one, I was through my studying Dzogchen Vajrayana, I learned these things. Then, many other people also, they enjoy, like, they join that skill, like turning obstacles ally, almost like you do it like video game also. You enjoy defeat many things, like And the video game, you play video game, you just defeat so many people. People enjoy that. Similarly, I think same way you turn in obstacles, ally, and you enjoy that too. There's no difference. Everything's victory. Yeah? Victory is very enjoyable. Victory. And then the other thing is, I think this is I want to talk about is like this. The third one is third one is allies appear obstacles. I think this is a very important topic. Allies appear obstacles. This is really an important topic. Because this is really right now, I think we face many times. You know, most people don't have the power to obstacles appear allies, but many people do this. Allies appear obstacles. What that means, something meant to be source happiness, source well-being, and it turn into source suffering. Someone show you the best, good condition, best, source happiness, offers you a friend, teacher, or good conditions, and then you have misjudgment, misunderstanding. You don't know that's pie. We treat negative. Something actually positive, but we treat negative. And the positive is become source of suffering. I think that's really, really modern world is really, really have that. You see, in news media, small things become huge. There's no problems, they make problems. And then everybody's angry, everybody's frustrating, everybody's unhappiness. On many different things, we see this. These days, we don't have much education to allies, peer obstacles. We are so much educated, people brainwashed to allies appear obstacle. That's really our modern, many people teach, reason other people, teach, many different ways, I think that's really I see, good conditions turning into source of suffering. If we don't have mindfulness, we don't have wisdom, I think we need to have wisdom. I think these people, and then they turn in, good condition, never turn into, source suffering. And therefore, if something's very good for you, you never know that. You think that's not good for me. Or you resent for something, or misjudgment, or like that. And that really means, you lost that connection, something extraordinary positive. That affects people's life, many different life effects throughout their lifetime. And that really means, and they call allies peer obstacles. I think this is really the allies peer obstacles. And then I think that's really we need mindful there. But this is a very huge area, but we don't want to go, huge details, but I think what I mean, and everybody, what I mean is, and therefore, if you have mindfulness, compassion, fairness, and meditation, wisdom, and then good conditions, something's good for you, never become source of suffering. And that's really reason it's very important having all these teachings together on, these skills, and skills, and say skills. And then fourth is allies, peer ally. That means someone's really make source happiness, fulfillment appears allies, peer ally. That's it. Then once you have the right mind, right mindset, right mind, a right attitude, and allies, peer ally. That's really, really most beautiful thing. I think therefore, now I'm saying is here, this is very important. You call someone is really powerful person. What that means, someone is really powerful person. Someone is powerful person means someone can turn in obstacles to ally. That is powerful person. Someone is wise. What wise means? Someone is wise means someone can obstacles turning into ally. That also person is wise person. Someone is skillful means someone is skilled. Lots of skills means when we say we fixed car, we need to use tools fix the car. And we have fixed the problems, we fix the tools, fix the problem. Mindfulness, wisdom, meditation, pristine mind, gratitude, all many different things, we have learned all these things, the tools, you can fix the problem. Therefore, and then also you are skillful person. And then this person is powerful person, wise person, and skillful person. I think that's it. I think today I like address this is through, we are learning, studying, practice how obstacles turn into allies. The number one I say, and this is the nutshell. Nutshell means, just everything be together. If you know how to deal with your thoughts, emotions, then obstacles appear allies. If you know how to free your thoughts, emotions, obstacles appear allies. The other instance, if you have wisdom and mindfulness, the obstacles appear allies. Compassion also. Compassion is very important. Not like compassion means you see everyone is just like you. It means everyone want happiness. They don't want suffering. You don't want to have just everyone same. That's a source of compassion. And compassion, each of these principles have power to turn in obstacles ally. Therefore, when we have fear and uncertainty right now, what it really is, have more gratitude, positive mindset, positive thoughts, emotions. The more you have positive thoughts, emotions, the more you have internal strength. You have internal strength, you have fearless. Fear cannot conquer your mind, life. Therefore, fearless mind is someone has a rich abundance of positive thoughts, emotions. That really are the fearless mind. Okay, therefore, I like stop here, and I think then people have few questions we can answer that. Therefore, I hope everyone understanding today's subject, special teaching of Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava's teachings, and I hope everybody slowly and gradually turning all obstacles allies, all obstacles paths to enlightenment. Everyone, I wish everyone. Thank you. And then I have some few questions. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Rinpoche, a few questions. So here someone is asking about good conditions that can turn into suffering. So some conditions or some things appear as good, but they cause suffering. So both in the short term and the long term in the big picture. For example, there's some cleaning products or everyday products that are supposed to be good to help clean, but they have harmful chemicals. So it's just one example. So how do we deal with this skillfully?
Skillful, I think mindfulness, mindfulness means usually means you aware what causes the conditions, what consequences. I think mostly we are not checking, investigating, looking carefully. They call that mindfulness, like Damba. Tibetan call it, there are two things, Damba, Shivjan. Damba is mindfulness. Shivjan means conscientious or monitor. I think Jamgo Makhon Rinpoche says, most problems, he says, come from two things. Maftak Padam, he says, Maftak Padam, Mashipa, he says, two people's problems come from two places, he says. Maftak Padam, Mashipa. Maftak means not checking, not understanding. And that really are the problems or karma, he says, come from there. Therefore, checking everything about external conditions, especially checking your thoughts, emotions. Are my thoughts or emotions helping me or hurting me? If this particular thought, if you have that, is called mindfulness or awareness. It's very important. Any external product you buy, or food or chemicals, make sure everything's have like that, and they call that mindfulness. It's very important to, remove any kind of obstacle in your life.
Thank you, Rinpoche. And someone asks here, everything seems to have the potential of both sides of allies and obstacles. So how can we know which one we should let go and which one we should embrace?
I think, and the really reason is, what's really ally, what's ally thoughts. I think important ally thoughts, like what thoughts make you bring happiness? What emotions bring you happiness, well-being, a good connection, Sometimes we have a difficult connection others. The reason is your own projection, maybe your own misunderstanding other people. And these thoughts can connect people or misperception, hindrance. Therefore, you need, especially good conditions are very important, but checking your thoughts, monitoring, you question about everything is called mindfulness. This is called sometimes mind training, you hear about that? Mind training is not just only blindly train mind, but exactly what's going on in your mind called mind training. Therefore, yeah, that's very important. Monitor your thoughts, pick up your cause of happiness thoughts. Thoughts make you happy, well-being, connected, that kind of thoughts, your enlightenment. Believe that more, and pay attention that more than negative thoughts.
What do we do, Rinpoche, when, say, after we successfully treat a compulsion as an ally, you meditate and find the ally in it, but then the mind forces you back into the compulsion? What is the best way or the best practice to move past that?
Yeah, I think compulsion is, like right now there's reinforced because so many years familiar, Habit means what habit means, so many years we're familiar, they call habit. But you're training again, repeat again. The more you repeat, thoughts become more, you repeat more positive thoughts, impulses, means like you can express love, you can express compassion impulsively. You can impulsively, express in happiness or rejoice. And that really become the more powerful, and that become predominant, then the negative impulses may be losing their energy. That's what we do usually.
Rinpoche, how do we deal with difficult situations that caused by other people and still have great compassion towards these people and stay positive?
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think someone's like difficult people, we face every time. I think the more we have toward negative thoughts, and that difficult for harm for others, but also harmful to us too. And then therefore, and negative thoughts, we think, like someone's harmful, I need to do the same thing, harmful mindset. And then harmful mindset also hurt us. Therefore, what is really our means, the Bodhisattva's teaching says, like, and you have more patience, tolerance, I think gave more strength, gave you strength. Patience, tolerance is a strength. Impatience is weakness. There's no tolerance. People think, like, I did something negative back, that think that's strong. But actually, tolerance is, like tolerance and patience, forbearance is the most strength people have. Therefore, just bring that up, and then you can change in other people's perception. When then other people are like difficult, you become difficult. It's really, really, they're always difficult, both. But you're not affected, then other people may change their position.
When people are angry at us, is it okay to thank them for having an opportunity to practice patience?
Depend of course, depend your capacity. You have that capable, of course, why not? People have, it's not like do this, everybody's different capacities. If someone's angry, you said, you have this capability, that's the best. It's not like forcefully you need to do that. It's not saying forcefully, it means like all these conflicts come from there. I think we learn this way. We may not have this capability, but slowly we have more capability. Therefore, it's not like you have starting right now and teaching right now, maybe tomorrow you have but we are this way, the positive way, the right direction we're going. We more pay attention, more doing meditation, develop more practice, and then we have more strength we have. Sometimes, like we have these days, last few years, what it really is, resentment is you think you have resentment, you're a more powerful person. Everyone's resent someone. Everyone's, lashing someone. Everyone's judging someone. That's really are the make, like that. And that really make weak. That's really make everything weak. But the opposite is, we're learning is the more we have compassion, the more love, or like these things are degrees. The more you do meditation, the more you, like the more you free your negative emotions, the more you have strength, handle challenges. That's we need order powerful living. Powerful living, we cannot have powerful living. Everything's reacting something. Someone says something, there's reacting. Someone sees something, there's always reacting. We don't have powerful living. We are weak living. Our life is very weak, timid. The world is so big, there's so many challenges, there's so many chaos going on. Midst of chaos, you're just, there's dignity, means you have, like skills to deal all these challenges.
Wonderful, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, you said that when you're in your 20s, you start to gain a lot of things like successful career, you find partners, etc. But when you reach your 50s, you start losing friends and losing other things in your life. So how do you turn all of these losses into gains or something positive?
Yeah, I think this is everyone, just not talking about one person. I'm talking about everyone's life. Everyone's life, this is true. When everyone's young, we always gain here, always gain here. I was noticed that. I noticed people around me and everything, around the world. When you're young, everything you hear, gaining. When you are older, then everybody's losing, losing hair, losing teeth, losing friends, many things happen. But when that is, I think that how to deal with that is, the best way is you realize that's a reality. You everything's changing. Everything's impermanent. This is inevitable. That's helpful. That's helpful. There's nothing you can do. That accept is the most powerful attitude. Accept. You fighting with the reality. That's really the difficult. You cannot change the reality. Things are impermanent. You say, I don't want to accept things are impermanent. I want things are permanent. And that way, it's so much challenging, very difficult. But you accepting things are permanent, that's really good. And also when you things like that, things are permanent, things losing. Also, you still wonderful things you can count your life. Enjoy things, Oh, it's beautiful, No, I don't need work, maybe, or maybe I can go vacation, or maybe I can practice meditation. I can have enjoy a day. There are many things you can still count in many good things. Therefore, you look at the positive. Something impermanent things happen. This is you realize things are permanent. That's really are the best perspective. I think this is Buddha's teachings. That's best perspective human beings have. They can handle everything.
I heard at one time that we take refuge because we are scared. Is it possible to be a practitioner without fear? And would that be a good thing?
Yeah, fear. I think fear dominant people's life is, it's a very quality life is gone down. But I think take refuge is, we cheer, because we cheer fearless state. That means take refuge. That's true. Yeah, and therefore, the more you have, the more you practice growth, the reduce your fear degrees. The more higher degrees your practice growth, the fear and anxiety, everything's dissipated slowly. So depend always your practice. Your practice is very high, your fearless is high. Therefore, depend everybody individual's practice.
So there are quite a few questions about transforming fear into from an obstacle to an ally, or transitioning that. Can you explain how we can work to transform fear into fearlessness, and if there are any texts or resources or books you can recommend? I think people would like that.
Dzogchen teachings and Padmasambhava's teaching, they have that and what. But fear, fear. When people have fear, how do you do that? You have fear, and that means fear. The Malaripa says, the Malaripa has a very beautiful quotation. Malaripa says, Ngan chivin jigne roll up to, Dan chimi and Nge namchi chame gum ngen chivin jikte roll up to, Dan namchi chame, Dan chimi and dansa, Dan chivin jikpa word de tar. He says, Malaripa says he thinks, he has fear of death. He says, Yogi Malaripa, he says he has fear of death, and he ran out mountains. And then he says, No, I have realized deathless awareness. Understanding? No, and he says, I know I lost totally fear of death. This means, like, why you have fear, that means I have fear for, therefore I need to do practice meditation. That means fear, you fear turning into right direction, because fearful, therefore you turn into meditation. Fearful, you be, compassionate. Fearful, fears, source fear, you're doing more positive things you do. And then means slowly you become fearless. Like once you learn meditation, once you learn Dzogchen or other teachings, so you become fearless. This is called fear take into path. Because fear you achieve so much. Because fear you get along other people. Because fear you are not, you're successful. All things fear into spiritual path. Not only our fear for sit there together, but do something. And that's really our fear into path to spirituality.
So there are many things that we can do at home, Rinpoche, but how do we deal with inaction and a lack of energy and motivation to do them? How do we get inspired to take action and to work with our mind and work to transform obstacles into allies?
I think home. What's say again? Home.
Sure. Right now we're at home all the time, so there are many opportunities for us to do things at home. But how do we deal with if we're uninspired or lack energy or motivation?
Okay. Yeah, I think this is very important. I think today these things are like we are talking for the question answers. I think it's very important. Also, many people watching. This is something also entertain. Everybody's interacting. They're not like just everybody's interacting. Like we are question answers. I think this is another way to people home they can something do. We are interacting right now. Everybody's listening. We have question answers, interesting things. This is another I thought we can do next session. I think next Saturday is in Dakinishin. I want to sing in that. I want to sing, and also reading poems. I think also we need to do also fun things. And I'm doing the everybody's home. This is not just only teaching, also entertain, also interacting other people. I think the question is, I think. Inspire yourself, like I think inspiration, I think really, I think generally not just only home, but we need to find something inspiration, improve your life, enjoy helping others, inspire to reading or like all anything, try to make which is you inspired. I think the good thing is sometimes if you do meditation, mind is relaxed, calm, then inspiration naturally comes. And then sometimes also many people knowing you, many people make uncomfortable, then inspiration go down. Therefore, sometimes therefore what you need to do is, be patient, tolerance. You think, we have this difficult time, but there's so many things happen in the next future also. Wonderful things may happen. We are looking for next year, and this summer also, and also next year and next few years, we're doing so wonderful things. Where you want to go to vacation, what do you want interested to do, retreat, like anything you think in something makes you inspire future. Think about that. Then always, I was thinking, many wishes make me inspire. Any project I do future, think about that. Or practice meditation, or teaching, or a book.
Wonderful. how do you deal with this scenario, Rinpoche? If someone is telling you always what to do and you feel like you're always externally controlled by this person and you don't like it, and that person gets really angry if you don't do what the person says, is the person like an ally or an obstacle and that I should have compassion with?
Yeah, it's a very hard situation. I think people don't have capacity to, someone's always controlling. That really means, it's, I don't know, the situation dynamic, that's husband or wife or like some also parents, I don't know. But I think that's not a good situation. I think therefore, I think both people work. It's not cannot work one person do anything. But I think both person realize like not controlling and not like that. Then, but I think also same time have patience, tolerance. That also helps reduce the reduce to that kind of anguish. But I think it's not sometimes someone's controlling means really they're controlling or your misperception. You need to know that also. Sometimes people doing the right things, but you perceive everything's controlling, and it always depend. People have. In these days, it's very difficult. Everybody's own opinions. Of course, everybody's own culture. Every human beings, when you go to all the culture, there's everybody thinking same way. This is right, this is wrong. For example, US, everybody has wrong, right, wrong, control. Some people this is control, some people not. This is freedom. It's everybody's individualism. Individualism is very hard because everybody think differently. Therefore, make sure really there's controlling or misperception. Or that's sometimes checking. That's very important. Really there's controlling. I think you need to talk to that person and don't say, talk very nicely. Communication. I think that's all helpful.
Wonderful. Hi, Rinpoche. Thank you for the great talk. I'm interested in this scenario. If someone works and provides money for rent and food and schooling for the wife and child, it means that we depend on money. But if that person gets fired or cannot earn enough money, can that person stay mindful? This is a big hindrance in life since well-being of the people around you are in question and depend on you to make money.
So can you say again?
Sure. So, we live in a society where it's important to make money because you have to provide for your family.
Yeah.
So if you get fired or you lose your job and you can't earn enough money, how do you stay mindful, or can that person stay mindful?
Yes, yeah, and I think these times we need to have mindful. Like not always you lost job, everything, not a panicking. Just calm down. Calm down, and then what's the best way to support. You need to rely on compassion and wisdom. Your really wisdom is not impulses, and maybe future were better. You're not thinking everything's sadness. There's future. There's chance. We have more chance future. Thinking about that way and using your wisdom, intelligent. I think that's very important. When that mindfulness means you're not always, think about suffering, everything's difficult now, but how do we can use wisdom, intelligent skills? How do you say, deal with the difficult situations like this?
What about the practice of offering to help turn difficult situations or conditions into allies, or the 7-line prayer? How important is it to connect with the 7-line prayer for this, and also practice offerings like Riwo Sengchod?
It's very important because practice 7-line prayer means you bring enlightened power, your power together, create one different condition, something like that. For example, you like 7-line prayer, or like it's one's force, and your force is you have force, you have the power. Power come together. Two powers come together, creating, remove obstacles or create good conditions. There's the two things happen. Your power, sincere motivation, positive mindset, enlightened power, seven line prayer, Ro Songchu. These two forces come together, creating, remove hindrance, and create good conditions and circumstance enlightenment for everyone. Therefore, very important.
So, is it helpful to analyze the past compulsive actions or just focus on the present state of mind?
A past, even if something beneficial, then it's good. Thinking about beneficial and also helpful, but it's not beneficial, and then past sometimes bring, also resentment. And that is not beneficial. It's something make you sad or resentment, and think and analyze something past is not really mindful. Not thinking about it, But it's analyze past. It's beneficial and helpful, and then that useful. Then it's thinking past is good. It always depends.
This is about working with other people and their communication style. So what happens if you feel hurt or fearful from someone's communication style? This person has been practicing with their own thoughts and emotions and being mindful and apologizing when this person's action is taken from impatience. But so the person's struggling with someone's communication style. The person feels hurt and fearful from it. So what? How can that person manage that and cope with that and turn that into something positive?
Yeah, I think we always live in society, people, we cannot always have, expect all the time good conditions. We hear many difficult things. We have always, someone's criticized, that's all, like that. For example, you go to the Facebook or YouTube video, and everything there's two thumbs up, two thumbs down, like that. And these people are looking for, it's called hope. This is called fear. Hope and fear. And people are right now people are looking at hopes and fears. People, how much two times many things down, people don't want that. People want more up, 300-400 up, then it's people hope. And then that's really reason people have social media is dominant, and people have so much hurting their feelings like this. And then I think people have hope for this is looking. That's really, right now everyone's hurting their feeling, because you see everyone has Facebook, everyone's comments they make, everyone has what they call that. Another one is the other one is there's another YouTube, there's another one Instagram, yeah, like that. And daily people environment, there's right now easy to hurt everyone and easy to hurt everyone. Therefore, that, and especially someone's we have everyday face criticism like that. I think that really means you cannot avoid that you can hear all the time. Therefore, you need to have really powerful mind, develop powerful mind, like compassion, love, mindfulness, seed understanding. All criticisms are not necessarily negative. Someone is positive mind, someone is sincerely compassionate mind, even the criticism is not that bad. If you all criticism, 100% criticism bad, then you 100 times you're hurting your feeling. Let's say you have 50% criticisms are, you don't perceive negative, but 50% criticisms you're perceiving negative, and 50% criticisms don't hurt you. Because I noticed my own, training many years. Many criticism, someone says sincere, tell me, criticize them, you need to improve your English, you need to eat the, right food. I can't believe you eat this. These things don't hurt me because that someone has the right mindset. They're really thinking about it sincere through compassion. And then someone's really deliberately hurting you, and that's a little bit different. Therefore, I think we are thinking everything's treated different. All persons are treated differently. That's helpful also. One way, that's one helpful. You should treat all persons different. Some may be positive, some may negative. But even a difficult curses, if someone's deliberate curses you have, critical you have, you can have mindfulness and compassion, love, see the big picture, let go. I tell you that this is called let go is strength. That's I learned. Let go. If someone tell you something, you holding, that's weakness. That's damage your mind, hurt your feeling. And you let go of that. That's your strength. This I talked to before. If you have strong stomach, anything you eat, digest. Go through digestly. That means someone has strong stomach. Someone has a sensitive stomach means anything you eat hurt their stomach. It's called weak stomach, yeah? Similarly, if you have strong mind, then things you let go very easily. Therefore, we need to have strong stomach, strong mind. Strong mind in someone's love and compassion, wisdom, mindfulness, meditation, they have strong mind. And strong mind can let go easily. Therefore, a let go is the strength.
So, what kind of obstacle is anger? Is it a secret obstacle or inner or outer?
Inner, you can say inner obstacle.
Okay. And same with doubt. Is that also an inner obstacle?
Yes, inner obstacle. Yes, inner. You can count inner obstacle. Yes.
Okay. So my anger appears as an obstacle. It is very destructive in my life. In the moment when it happens, it seems necessary and even sometimes enjoyable. It is only afterward I see the real negative impact, and I have yet to vanquish this. So do you have any suggestions for me to manage that anger?
Yeah, I think anger is, like everybody has come, that energy comes. But that is very, but after the angry, you express that, then just quickly forget, just become normal person. Like clouds, during the clouds, then it's dark, but the clouds disappear, sun shining again, yeah? You need to do the similar. Someone is angry, and you need to know other people. I'm angry, but I need to have this. But when I finish anger, I'm totally like clear, like blue sky. I think it's very important to that. And then not thinking continually angry. Like that. And then that's very important. And also, I think generally you develop love and compassion more, and then anger is no longer powerful. That's another way.
I'm worrying about my grown son and his family, and it's becoming an obstacle for this person. How can I maintain peace and inner strength so I can be more helpful to them?
That means what first part is?
The first part is this person is worrying about his grown son and family, or his or her grown son and family. So, and then that's becoming an obstacle. So worrying about the family is becoming an obstacle.
Oh, worrying families.
Yeah, worrying, exactly.
Second part?
And so the question is, how can I maintain a peace and inner strength so I can help the family?
Yes. I think worry won't help. Worry never helps. I think sometimes worry is, we have worry, but we need to reduce worry. But the number one is how to help that, through, if the person is the worry person is more calm, more compassion, more reasonable, I think then that can give more help to the family, the son. But if you worry a little bit more impulse, talking everything, and then you cannot help other people. Therefore, I think you may be more more compassion, more reasonable, more there's more beneficial, like try to think very productive. You're, I think more ground and more care up others. I think become that. I think they're more hopeful. I think hopeful is more important than body.
So this person currently smokes cigarettes, Rinpoche, and so they ask, how can I transform the compulsion of smoking into an ally in order for me to quit?
I think small quitting is it's very important, but I think you need to have the order to smoke. The problem is smoke quit is like ally means you need to have the problems of smoke. You think about that. Problem smoke is not good for well-being, not good. The smell is bad. And like you like smell, other people don't like the smell sometimes. There's so many problems, like in the long run. I think therefore you see the big picture, like smoke is, like not good for the person. I think that way it's called ally. And that means that helps you quit smoke, yeah? And then you say, like, I don't need smoke, I can do many things, just only stuck in smoke is a weakness. I'm much stronger than just, like always need smoke, always need smoke. Without smoke, I cannot survive. We are not that. We are much stronger than just, upset smoke. Therefore, you think that way. And then I think, therefore, say, I'm survive with the smoke. You think that way. And then obstacles to thinking that is the smoke is up, thinking that is ally. And then slowly have the good smoke, like. I think we have our weakness. What weakness means we cannot put something that's our weakness. And when we could, we are not hesitation. We are determination. That's power. Think that way. And then changing, like, then it's just decide. Could smoke.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So this person is asking about Dharmapalas, Rinpoche. So, yeah. Rinpoche, I struggle to believe that Dharmapalas are external entities, but it seems that many practices and teachers are talking about them to be as such. Because of it, I find it difficult to do those kinds of practices and listen to those kinds of teachings. Do you have any advice in a situation like that, or do you have any advice on this topic of Dharmapalas?
Yeah, Dharmapalas is, like, I think symbolic, one is appear negative forces externally, appear negative forces, positive forces externally. There's positive thoughts and positive emotions, the negative thoughts, negative emotions, the internal perception. There's negative appearances and positive appearances. But the positive appearances is many different dimensions, degrees. Dharmapala is one of them. But that really you need studying particularly, but it's not easy to understand that way. Therefore, I think it's a external positive forces, you think that way. You cannot say, the problem is that we have problems. We believe in many external negative things, like say, we are believing negative and external negative forces, many things negative we can't. But how many positive things we believe external? Like the positive thoughts and emotions come from, we see something external. Therefore say, and then you are perceiving everything, let's say, percentage. I want percent. My practice is right now percentage. I can say this percentage. Anything you see, let's say, 50% negative, 30% are neutral, and 20% are positive. You see, you hear external, And then that means you have first 50% negative experience, and 30% neutral experience, and 20% positive extraordinary experience. That means depend. Our experiences, like conditional environment don't have independent. Whether we feel happiness, joy, positive, everything's conditional. Condition means external conditions and your thoughts, emotions. Let's say you don't believe any external forces, any external things positive, but everything's negative or neutral. That means we don't have positive experience. And someone, let's say, perceive and hear, these three things are very important. You see something, you hear something, you think in something, yeah? You see something positive, you hear something positive, you think in something positive, create positive experience, yeah? And then you think in something negative, see something negative, hear something negative, create negative experience. Therefore, that really are, therefore, the more we see something external, external things, positive, the more we have positive experience. I told these people, you listen, this is very important. Before, when I was young, I was studying philosophy, many things. I always thinking, what is really truth? Is it true there's anything that true this, then no, many years I'm lots of experience life. No, I don't say what is true. That's really foolish thinking. We never know truth. Know what I say in my new languages, what is beneficial. I think that I found, no, you cannot know the truth. Therefore, if you thinking this thought, you believe Dharma Palas external, that's beneficial, we don't know the truth. There's next life. That's true or that's false. We don't know the truth. What is really beneficial? What is really useful? What is very helpful? That's really I'm thinking that new way thing. I think that's really I'm using right now. I don't say, I need to know the truth, People say, who knows truth? Therefore, if we know the truth, we don't have the coronavirus, yeah? No one knows truth. Everybody struggle what's going on, like that. Therefore, we don't know. The world has so many problems. We don't know the truth. That's it. No one knows truth. Of course, we look at truth, but I think right now, new language is what's really beneficial. The beneficial, even something fiction, still no problem, no big deal. Therefore, many people reading fiction stories, many people watching fiction movies, but still they enjoy it. People live in fiction world. Therefore, Dharma Palas externally there appear is maybe true, maybe fiction, we don't know. But if there's beneficial thinking that way, and then that's good. Therefore, that's really my new logic. I'm teasing.
Wonderful, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, for those who are serious about studying and working on their mind, would it be beneficial to learn Tibetan for a deeper understanding, or what's the most beneficial way to really study and work with the mind?
I think you need to have, Tibetan is good. Tibetan is the Vajrayana, Dzogchen language exists Tibetan, but it's not just only learn Tibetan. You need to have right teacher, someone has experience. Then these two things. You learn in Tibetan as right teacher, and someone introduce the meaning of these teachings, then it's useful. But just learning Tibetan is not that useful because, you speak Tibetan, you don't know Dharma terms very deeply, then it's not that useful. Therefore, depends always.
So can you follow Dzogchen without taking formal vows?
Formal vows.
Or do you need to take formal vows to follow
Vows,
Dzogchen?
like I think vow. There's no formal vow. You don't need formal vows. You need to have the necessary Dzogchen vows. Like anything's vow. You say some anything, any rules. You fly an airplane. Someone saying that's question hard, but there's no rules. You can fly airplane. You go to airplane, but there you don't need many rules. But you need to roll airplane. Otherwise, you know. Seat belts is necessary. Other you don't seat belts. This something's necessary, and therefore you need to have the ticket. You need to have the ID. These things are necessary in order to fly airplane. Therefore you don't need to have other rules, meaningless rules. But you need to have flying airplane. You need to have necessary rules there. Similarly, other vows you don't need many rules, but when you starting Dzogchen, there's own rules, really reasonable, authentic, not like someone made up. You see, these things are necessary in order to experience Dzogchen things. You need these things, but they are not like unnecessary rules. If you start in Dzogchen, you don't be, or you monks' rules. You don't need to be monk. Without monks' rules, you can start in Dzogchen, for example. Dzogchen has own particularly rules, like airplanes. You fly airplane, its own rules, like necessary rules, like similar, therefore, like that. You don't need unnecessary rules, but you need to have there's some rules and vows there. I think I understand what that means. My example.
Rinpoche La, what is some advice to overcome an obstacle with a Sangha friend? How do we overcome obstacles or free our energy between, Dharma members or Sangha friends?
I think everybody come to Dharma, then they can fix it. Yeah, people stuck their own projections, then it's hard to fix anything. But people are like both come to Dharma principles. They apply, forgiveness, compassion. There's misunderstanding, clear that, and then feel feel connected together. But I think there's three people. There's agreement. You have three people, and when the two people come together, always there's disagreement. Their sanghas have disagreement. Their families disagreement. Their co-workers disagreement. But they come together. It's very important to come together, talk about that. Some people don't want to talk. You don't want to talk, then situation the resolve, then the things never resolved. Always stay the same way. But people have the courage talking about the problem without open mind and without not criticize each other. And it's very important. Therefore, I think they need Sangha, someone Dharma practitioner, then come to the Dharma principles, they apply, they can solve the problem. But they right now, people are Dharma practitioners, but they believe ordinary views. And then ordinary views cannot, most Dharma practitioners, they do, they say they're Dharma practitioners, but their perspective is just ordinary perspective. And then ordinary perspective, there's conflict. You cannot solve that. Then bring Dharma principles together, both parties, and then there's a problem.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for sharing your wonderful teachings and insights. These questions are around the potential risk of being a good Buddhist or a good practitioner and never being assertive, thus becoming weak or suppressed or not standing in one's own authentic strength. So the question is, Rinpoche, how can we be assertive in a healthy way without any anger or self-indulgence, entitlement, or unskillfulness? And when is a good moment to be assertive as an alternative to being patient and practicing endurance?
Okay, this is good. This is good. In order to do that, this is you need two things, two tools. One is compassion, the other is wisdom. Compassion means care about others. wisdom means, wisdom means see the big picture. Without wisdom, compassion alone cannot solve problem. It says Buddha says, without wisdom, compassion just blind, means no eyes. He says in the Pranjaparamita Sutta, many blind people cannot find the road. Therefore, compassion alone is not. Therefore, I see many things like what I see is you need wisdom. Wisdom means thinking very clearly, with honesty, without biases, without see it very clearly situation. And I think I think that's really called wisdom. And then Jamgo Mapam says what really wisdom is to distinguish what is accept, what is reject. You have the ability to distinguish what is accept, what is reject. I think that's called wisdom. Therefore, you have need wisdom means clear, pragmatic view, without bias, without prejudiceness, and also that kind of view is the wisdom situation clearly, and then with compassion, these things, two things come together, they solve the problem. They say wisdom, compassion.
Wonderful, Rinpoche. Thank you so much, Rinpoche. Your teaching was very helpful to me because I thought I was just supposed to leave the thoughts alone. So there's a couple of things here, Rinpoche. So can you please clarify if I should leave my thoughts alone or select those thoughts or do something else? I was leaving my negative thoughts alone, but they would spiral, and it sounds like that wasn't helping. So what should I be doing? Should I be leaving my thoughts alone or doing something else?
During this meditation, you leave thoughts, positive, negative, or thoughts alone means not interacting them. Yeah. But in time to time, after the meditation, daily life, you need to examine your thoughts, emotions. Our thoughts, emotions are helpful or harmful. They're positive or negative. They're productive and unproductive. You need to learn that. And I think learn that. Meditation means learning your mind. Sometimes you leave them alone, doing meditation. Sometimes you examine. And they call training mind both place. I think it's fun both. It's enjoyable. People need to do both. And then I think sometimes if you know your thoughts are many things responsible for your thoughts, then you have also peace of mind. You don't always blame others. Because sometimes others' problem, but sometimes our reactions are problematic. Therefore, you need to know what is really problem is.
What about obsessive thoughts, Rinpoche? So this person had many obsessive thoughts last night and they couldn't meditate. So what can you advise? What can you speak on that and how to work with your mind when there's obsessive thoughts and you want to meditate, but you can't?
I think therefore, the number one is I say, you need to build your meditation strength. If your meditation is more strength, then you're not obsessed with thoughts. That means someone has, meditation is stronger. Therefore, I think we need to have our meditations much stronger than our thoughts. That means we need regularly meditating. And certain point, we have that ability. The meditation ability is, your meditation is much powerful than your thoughts. One. And the second is your meditation can free your thoughts. But over time, you can get that. It's not one night, one evening or overnight work. But slowly, gradually, the more you do practice meditation, maybe the first thoughts are maybe powerful, but later meditation is more powerful than thoughts. I think that's more realistic than just say, do this job, There's no other, magic pill about, other than just strengthen your meditation. That's real magic pill.
So, on that topic of the strength of your meditation, this person says that I find I alternate between periods when pristine mind is available to me almost 100% of the time, and periods when I forget all about it. It's like a cycle. Maybe a week or two, pristine mind is always present all day long, and then a week or two, it doesn't last much at all beyond the daily meditation. So, do you have any thoughts or comments on that,
That's
Rinpoche?
really the same. You need to have
Mhm.
strength in your meditation. That's really same thing. If someone is, exercise, I don't losing weight this, like this month, what's going on? Then it's maybe your diet, maybe eating too much hamburger, or maybe and not exercise. Yeah, similarly, and you need to do more exercises. It's not obsessed with the thoughts, and I think that's it.
Rinpoche, how should we communicate with stubborn people, a stubborn person? Is there any techniques that we can apply from a Buddhist teaching or Buddhist perspective?
Stubbornness. I think all these things are like the same. Is question is, sometimes stubborn person. I don't know how stubborn is. Like people are stubborn because sometimes egos control. Egos, and then I think two different ways. I don't have much to, like real, magic pill, but I think I would say similar. People will be mindful, and people are more compassion means not always, like I think compassion people misunderstand means you do whatever other people say. That's not mean. Compassion means you become more reasonable, become not hurting other people. You see everybody. It's your side mostly. Your side. You feel more genuine. You feel more. You're not doing any contribution. That's compassion. And that you're reasonable. You're more. How do you say? Sometimes fair, and then what other people do, there's nothing you can change in unless you can change their perception. But you doing the best to yourself, that's really are the compassion person means. You don't need always, says, oh, I doing so much compassion, but other people are like that. It's not. If stubborn is really hard, people are. The problem I was telling people, this is a true. People cannot handle happiness, good conditions. People have really good conditions, everything is doing well, good work and everything. They become stubborn. They become difficult. Become egocentric. But people are suffering, and then people can become compassionate person. Usually, good condition, happiness, people become stubborn and egocentric. Happiness is more difficult to handle than suffering. Yeah, like see, last few years, people conditions are good. People so much complain, so much angry. No, everybody's like difficult phase. People care about each other. Therefore, suffering is more teaching us than good conditions. Therefore, I think stubbornness is for stubbornness of rich. I think I don't know how to change in other people's perception. I think you doing the right thing. I think that you can do that. You're doing the right thing, and then maybe they're doing the right thing slowly.
So, just a few more questions, Rinpoche. Thank you so much. Okay. Uh, Dear Rinpoche, if we are interested in Dzogchen and do not have any Buddhist teachers near, only Bon, can we learn Bon Dzogchen along with Buddhist Dzogchen? Are these two Dzogchen teachings opposite, or can they go along together?
Yeah, anything's fine. What they want to study, I think. Then you need to have ngondo is like you need to have studying Bon. Then you need to have Bon ngondo. You need to have Dzogchen Buddhist, then you have the Hongqing Yingti of Denjong Teshan Mondo, that kind. And then I think either way is fine, I think.
And can you please tell us a little bit more about the secret obstacles from Shela? How do they appear and how to deal with them? Just one last time.
Secret obstacles are like, for example, subtle thoughts and also subconscious thoughts. And I think when you're meditating, when you many thoughts, hesitations appear, that's called secret thoughts. Like meditative people have more secret thoughts and Dzogchen practice. Regular people don't know anything because they're not arrived yet there.
Wonderful, Rinpoche. I think there are many other questions that are very similar, but I think thank you so much for answering the majority of them.
Yes, almost 2. We went to 2 hours now. Yes, almost 2 hours. That's good. And I have everyone has learning slowly. Obstacles burn and obstacles turn in allies. Says, and the example is if anything you put fire, wood, like anything wood, that becomes helps fire. Like similarly, and then there says anything obstacles occur and hindrance occur, that helps you increase your enlightened awareness, that helps you increase your practice. Therefore, I think right now many challenges we see, like people dying, there's lots of fear, uncertainty. All these things shows we need much stronger person. We need to have tools, useful tools, and skills that show us. Therefore, the skills, tools are the practice meditation, Dzogchen or Vajrayana, mindfulness, whatever, compassion, all these things we need. Therefore, people realize we need all these things need to develop. Therefore, thank you very much. And then see you next time. Or next time is next week is Saturday, 25th is a very special day. 5th, I'm teaching Dakinishin soldier practice, and I translated last year and prayer, very special prayer, and with I'm doing the Vajra song, and the meaning is so beautiful poetry. We can read that and discuss that, and question answers and talk about that. I think this is not just only teaching, also like entertain, talking, also interaction. People stay in their homes, different places, and this is another way interaction. To questions, answers, and it feels there's so many things going on. I think this is good to do each weekend, Saturday, and therefore I'm not doing, and then we can see you next time. And until that, everyone has good experience, positive experience. Thank you very much.